belief. Belief. Say that word with me. Belief. Okay? What is belief? To believe something is to accept something as truth. To feel sure of the truth. Belief is funny. It's like a gift and a curse. Now, as human beings, as people, we believe things all the time. It's very, very easy to believe in bad things. The news pumps us full of bad news. The news makes you believe everything. The news will make you believe that the whole world is coming down with Ebola and that the stock market is going to crash tomorrow, that the $5 you have is going to be just enough paper to blow your nose, and that the sun is going to cook the earth because global warming is going to occur tomorrow, and that the earth is going to be vanished by Saturday. That's what the news will have you believe in. And you know, people believe it. And people, without backing up the claim, without doing their due diligence and finding out the information on their own, they'll just hear it and they'll believe it. Why is that? Let's, for instance, the sky is blue. You believe that. Why? Because you see it every day. Nobody could ever tell you that the sky is not blue. If somebody told you that the sky was red, you would say you must be crazy. You're an idiot because the sky is obviously blue. That would be your rebuttal without even looking up at the sky to make sure. Why? Because you accept that the sky is blue as truth. If you believe that you're getting sick, if you say, oh my gosh, I think I'm catching a cold, the next thing is going to happen is you're going to start coughing, you're going to get the scratchy throat. Why? Because you already put that belief in your head that you're getting sick. So your body is going to follow suit. After the thought has passed, your body will feel you getting sick. It's going to feel those ailments. The illness set in. Now, why is it that people believe in things like that? Things that we see in everyday life. Why is it that people believe in that? Why don't people believe in themselves? What's the logical explanation behind that? Now, there's great men on this earth, great men and women, I should say, on this earth, that all they had was belief in themselves. Look at people like Andrew Carnegie, responsible for the public library system that we have. He's a Scottish immigrant, you know, had a penny to his name, and is one of the wealthiest people that has ever been in the United States and the world, and revolutionized the way we do things now. Like I said, he's like the founder of the United States public library system. People could make a whole bunch of claims like, yeah, they got lucky, you know, they met the right people. You know, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I've heard that millions of times. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Yeah, that might be true sometimes. People can get lucky. Yeah, what is luck? Luck is preparation meets opportunity. But nonetheless, people can get quote unquote lucky. Yeah, that can definitely happen. But none of those things can occur without the simple belief in yourself. The simple belief in yourself. Now I'm saying simple because it is simple. That's all it took. But people don't believe in themselves all the time. For instance, I'll take it like this. If you're a guy, you see that girl, that most beautiful girl you've ever seen in your life. You're like, oh my God, she's so beautiful, I don't believe I can get with her. Or you're a girl, I don't believe I can get with him. Then you see them with somebody that you feel that looks way worse than you, or not worse, but doesn't look as good as you believe that you look. However, they're with the person that you want to be with. How did that occur? Maybe because the person that they're with believed that they could be with the person that you believe that you couldn't be with. You ever think about it like that? What is the root to the problem? The root to the problem is that people don't know how to believe. We were never taught. In the school system that we're in now, we're not taught how to believe. We're taught how to regurgitate information that we've read and that we've heard on a test paper. Not even to implement it. Not even to believe in yourself and coming up with your own ideas. We just learn other people's ideas and then we're tested on these same ideas of what other people did. We're not taught the simple art form of actually believing in yourself. How do you believe? I'll tell you how you believe. First, it all starts with thought. Let's get that understood right now. Everything starts with the thought. The first step in believing is the idea. You come up with this crazy idea. It could be anything. You got a piece of paper in your hand. You say, hey, check this out. I got an idea. I'm going to make paper airplanes. And I'm gonna make the best paper airplanes there are, and I'm gonna turn it into a global brand, and I'm just gonna be the best paper airplane maker. Okay, cool. That's the idea. Once you have that idea, you have to believe in that idea. How do you believe in that idea? There's steps to it. The first step is seeing it. You have to see it. You have to see it in completed form. Before there were cars to be driven in, someone saw that machine with wheels and an engine. Understand that. Let's take it back to the cause which brought into fruition the effect, which are cars. Henry Ford, the great man that he was, saw his idea in the finished form. You have to see it. Why? Have you ever heard the term seeing is believing? They never specified with which eyes you see with. But what about the things that you see with your third eye? What about the things that you see in your mind, in your imagination? Can you believe those as well? Some people say yeah, some people say no. So why do some people say yeah? They say yeah, we can because it's in your mind. If you can build it in your mind, you can build it, in real life. An architect would say yeah. An artist would say yeah, because they have to see it in their mind before they put it on paper. An architect has to build that building in his mind before he can put it on the blueprint to have a team of construction workers build this thing up. Now, going back to the paper planes, you actually have to see those paper planes being the best paper planes there are. Ask yourself, how can you believe it if you don't see it already? It's a good question. You can't. That's the answer. You have to see it. It's essential that you see it in the completed form. Next, whatever it is that you see, you have to accept it. As what? As truth. Why? What is the definition of belief? I said it at the beginning. To accept something as true. What is that something? Your idea can be that something. Whatever you saw can be that something. Anything you wish can be that something. You have to accept that something as truth. Now, accepting it as truth is a major part of this whole belief and belief development thing that we have going here. Now, why is that? Because if you don't accept it, then it is nothing more than a mere dream. When you accept something as truth, when you see it, it is the truth, right? So whatever it is that you have in your mind, when you see this idea, it is pivotal. It is essential that you accept it as truth for the simple fact that that is the definition of belief. Belief is accepting that something as truth. You have to accept it, regardless of what anyone says. It doesn't matter if it is your mother, if it's your brother, your best friend. Sometimes it might even be that person staring back at you in the mirror. But you can't believe that. You have to believe what it is that you see. You saw the idea, accept it. And you know what? It might not even be perfect at first. It might be something that's real wishy-washy. It might even be faded. But you know what? You keep seeing it. Every time you see it, it will get better and better. And you will accept it more and more. Everything takes time and everything takes practice. You want these paper planes. Okay, you saw the idea. Having a global brand for paper planes that you make by hand every single month. Now you have to accept it. Because once you see that idea, if you say, I gotta make 1,000 paper airplanes in a week, I don't think I can do that. Well, guess what? You didn't accept what you just saw. You didn't accept your own idea. What if Henry Ford said, there's already cars existing. I don't have enough money to make the best car that's gonna last for over 100 years. I don't think I can do that. Guess what? There wouldn't be Ford today in 2015 if he didn't accept his idea that he saw in his own mind. The next step after accepting is sustaining it. Now, understand something. Up until this point, you didn't understand how to believe. Accept your thought and sustain it. You have to sustain it because the more that you sustain that acceptance of the thought that you saw, that idea that you saw, the more you will believe it. Let's say you face me in a game of basketball and I win, but I only win by 1 point. Are you going to accept that I am better than you? Some of you are like, yeah, but I see some of you basketball players out there are like, hell no. I would have to sustain that winning streak against you in order for you to believe that I am actually better than you. Somebody in basketball has a good game. They score 40 points. They've been scoring 10 points for the entire season, but they scored 40 this game. How many of you are going to believe he's one of the best basketball players in the league right now. Not many. Why? Because if he doesn't sustain that for an entire season, nobody cares. You have to sustain the belief. You have to sustain the acceptance of the idea that you see. The more you sustain that acceptance, the easier it is to believe. The more real it will become. It is just how it goes. If you accept what you believe and you sustain that I apologize to keep repeating this, but understand something. We've made it all the way here and you didn't know how to believe. Some of you are young, some of you are old. Some of you are 40 years old and you're just figuring right now how to believe. It's not too late. Believe that. Start with that. It's not too late to learn. So after you have this idea, you have this silent thought, you see this idea in its completed form, and then you accept the idea, and then you sustain that acceptance of that idea that you see in its completed form. What is next? The only thing that can happen after you have the idea, you see it in its completed form, and you accept what you see and sustain that acceptance, the only thing that can happen at that point is manifestation. That is it. The only thing that can happen. Believe that. The only thing that can happen is the manifestation of the idea that you accepted as true, that you believed as true, that you saw to the end. That is the only way and the only result, the only effect of the cause of belief. And that is the only result that we want. Because when you think about life, nothing else matters except for the results that you're aiming for. Nothing else outside those lines matter. Everything else is, what Brian Double says, out of bounds. Nothing else matters except for the results that you seek. The manifestation of the idea which you saw, which you accepted, and which you sustained that acceptance until manifestation. Nothing else matters at that point and after that point. Understand that. Believe that. I just want to leave something for you guys to just drive the point home, because I know I've been talking for a long time, and I know that, you guys are like, yes, believe, yes, and now it's time to practice, because I can only stand here and talk for so long. I can only stand here and get you to believe in me so long. But understand something. If you don't believe in yourself, no other entity will. I don't care what you believe. Allah, God, the universe, Buddha, whoever. If you don't believe in yourself, no other entity will. Believe that. Thank you.